Boys. Alright. Oh, there we go. Oh god, that's a bright light. Press that. Alright, we're live, ladies and gentlemen. We're live. I need to make a loud noise because that's how the streams always start. But I'm not going to scream into the mic just for your safety. Or am I? Who knows? What's up, guys? Wait, what is happening? Has the chat window always gone up like that? I know it has, yeah, never mind. I forgot how chat works. Hey, what's up, guys? Hello. It is I, the man, the myth, the legend. Welcome to the stream, Cares, Ophelia, Said Boy, everyone, Hui, welcome to the stream. Hope you're all having a great day. Welcome, welcome. Hope the weather's great. Hope, you're great. And stuff. Just general pleasantries. I hope everyone's fine. I hope everyone's having a good day. Just a good vibe. Let's press the go button. Get in Honkai Impact. New login reward, Pog. My lecturer got sick today, and now I'm here. Hey, there's nothing more Pog than that. Unless the lecturer got sick with something very bad, then that's not Pog. But it's Pog that you're now here, and you don't have lectures. So, Pog, but also not Pog, but Pog as well. Okay, but what was that in news really quickly? Painting Stars Bounty, 7-day login rewards, crystals and more. When's it start? Time, 10 o'clock, June 23rd. That's today. That's today, boys. Is this asteroid crystals? Oh, so you just get 180 crystals. Oh. And a few other random things. 1,000 asteroid, that's pretty bog. 1,000 asteroid, boys. I wish they had Reverse Calico. Honestly, I wish they also had Reverse Calico. I'd like her. We got level 70 in the Battle Pass. I did that last night just by doing a few things. Because I was just kind of playing around. I'm going to do this really quickly. No, I'm not. I stepped on tar. Said boy, I'm going to absolutely be honest with you. I'm going to be one of the only people to say this right now. That is not very fun, is it? I've never done it. But I'm going to say, it's not very fun, is it? Stepping on tar. Just received it. I think I'll receive it in about an hour or so after the reset happens. Ophelia, hello as well. And yes, I'll be disappearing in 2 seconds. Also true. True, Tissue's going to come in for 13.5 seconds and then he's going to disappear for the rest of the evening. That is exactly how this all works. It's the most predictable tactic that Tissue has ever done. He appears for a fraction of a second and then disappears for the rest of the night. And then comes in, he's like, I was here the whole time. He's like, no, you weren't. Yeah. No, I'm joking. Welcome everyone, Tissue. Ophelia, Facial, welcome to the stream. Hello, hope you're all having a great day. Hello, hello. I'm crying because it's fresh tar on my new shoe. That, Jesus, bro. That's unlucky. That's actually unlucky, dude. Oh, that's... What brand of shoe was it? Now, that's my question. This is gonna determine a lot of things, because if it's like a good brand of shoes, and it's like expensive shoes, oh, that's fucking hella annoying. So if it's like Nikes, Adidas's, Michael Jordans, I don't fucking know, Michael Air Jordans, whatever, doesn't really matter. Nike, oh, dude, that's so unlucky. Oh, I feel so bad now. No, not personally, but I feel so bad for you. Oh no. Nike's into a fucking, unlucky. How's Arataki Ida going? I haven't built him in the slightest cares. I am going to build him, but I haven't started. I only got him last night randomly, and I haven't played Genshin all day, so I'm overcapping on my resin a lot. I have not spent an ounce of resin on my on Genshin at all today, so tonight when I play it for a bit, I'll probably farm up his materials and try to get him to some level. One thing, then, Chapter 2 ending is spoiler from Chapter 5 to 27 Colliston arc. Chapter 2 of what? Sorry. Chapter 2 of what, Ophelia, is a spoiler. I'll be back at 10 to say goodbye and pretend I was here the whole time. See ya, tissue. Catch you later, homie. It was fun once you're here. Gonna see one Cuzza if he got a rerun. Quick spoiler-roni, Ophelia, with that one. He will be getting a rerun next patch. But it cost 1,500 in my currency. I don't know currency conversion, so that if that's I don't know if that's expensive. 1,500 in Australian dollars is expensive. If it's not expensive, then up to you. But still, in general, Nike shoes are generally expensive. Chapter 2 of Elysian Realm. Is it a spoiler for 25 to 27? It didn't really feel like it has anything to do with it. Maybe I'm just... At this point, I don't want to say spoilers are, like, irrelevant. But, like, the last few chapters that we have left to do are all in some way connected. Because we only have chapter 25X, 26, 27, 28. And then Elysian Realm, chapter 3. And then chapter 29. So they're all close enough for me to not really mind about spoilers. I don't really know how it can spoil anything to do with Durandal or Otto. So, if it is a spoiler, I'll probably not figure it out, but doesn't really matter, I guess. Oh, look at that! Oh, we should probably spend some energy, boys. Or do we want to wait until after the reset happens, maybe? Might as well wait until after the reset. Last day. All the stuff is out, boys. All of the stuff is out. Preparing in one day. All my attempts use up. I guess we can just jump straight into this event. We just got a lot of dialogue. 1,500 is equal to 474 AUD. Dude, just fucked. That's very expensive. That is very expensive. Damn, I would... $474. But I think the most expensive pair of shoes I've ever bought are maybe like $150 for Australian dollars. And the cheapest I bought is like $30. Shoes are replaceable to me. One thing before you play the Conan Doyle event, you will want to change the VA to Chinese. They have a Chinese dub. I don't really care about that though. I don't know if it's too immersion breaking, but I don't really mind that there's no VAs personally. I don't really mind. Do you guys want the Chinese VA? I'll turn the Chinese VA if most people want it. It doesn't really affect me. He played the last bit of chapter 2 yesterday and nothing spoiler coming out. Yeah, the end of chapter 2 Elysian Realm didn't feel like a thing. Oh, is chapter 3 Elysian Realm? Okay, all good, Ophelia, don't worry about it. Just on by to say hi, as I have things to do. Lariel, I really appreciate the stop. Enjoy, or rather, good luck with whatever you have to do, and I'll catch you in the next one. Hello, Azuri, 11 more subs to go. Actually true, 11 more subs, boys. Get your grandparents subbing. Come on, guys. Literally, email them my channel. Email your grandparents my channel. Get them subbing, boys. I need 11 grandparents to sub to the channel right now. It is near the start of chapter 3. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Well, here's the thing. We're doing chapter 3 after we do chapter 28. So just as a context of what order we're doing all the story now, I'm not doing chapter 20... I'm not doing chapter 3 of Elysian Realm until I've done chapter 28 of the main story. So as a pretty big emphasis, that's how it's being done, because that's how I was told that I should do it yesterday. So, yeah. Ven voice is okay, Ven superior. Thank you, guys. I know, I'm the best voice actor. Bro, just literally, who's an English voice actor that I know? I don't know any English voice actors. But, yeah, I'm one of them. Tomorrow will be story stream? Yes. Tomorrow will be chapter 25X. Right? Tomorrow will be chapter 25X. And then on Sunday, we'll probably just, rather after tomorrow, the story will just slowly continue per stream. Ven is the Prime VA. Jockley is the Prime Adeptus and I'm the Prime VA. Also true. I'm Optimus Prime VA. Alright, catch you later, Lariel. Have fun with your taskman and best of luck. Alright, boys. Ladies and people. People and ladies. Before we even start the event, let's just quickly buy the crystals because we can. Let's also buy all of this because we can. The time passes are pretty useful, so I'll buy those. I'm not going to buy the money because I don't need it. These things let you upgrade skills, so we're just going to grab 12 of those. And then we'll buy the rest of them, obviously, after. There we go. Nice. Just thought I'd quickly get that out of the way. So, a quick recap of the story. What happened last time? Okay. Let me try to remember, like, vividly. So we had Beetle... We had Joachim turns into a beetle for some reason. Can you do the Zhongli line for Osmanthus Wine? I don't remember it word for word. How does it go? Osmanthus wine tastes just as I remember. But where are those who share the memory? There you go. Yeah, so the story had Joachim turned into a beetle. We fixed the nodes with Tesla. Raven is dead with Grey Serpent, so there's another killer out there. It's not Raven or Grey Serpent. And then I can't remember how this one ended, but we're now up to If. It's not Joachim, it's Joffrey. Oh yeah, sorry, Joffrey. Yeah, no, my bad. You're absolutely right. Yeah, it's Joffrey. Joffrey. I was like, Joachim? Yeah, it's actually true. Alright, here we go, boys. Who's ready? Let me make sure I'm out of the way so you guys can still read along. Let me minimize myself slightly here. And I'll move myself up a bit in line with the box. Alright, there you go. You guys can read along if you want, or you can just listen to me read it. Conan Doyle starts us off. Do you think you're ready to tell me now, Dr. Einstein? What is this Omega 2 that Mr. Joyce has been tracing these years? I leaned forward, while the blue-haired lady on the other side of the table is impassively staring at me in the eye. Not even in the eyes, just literally death staring through one eyeball. That's scary. Moments later, she let out a deep sigh as she decided to give up something important. You won, Doctor. What I'm about to tell you is the biggest secret of Lab 42 of Shixel Imperial Institute. I trust you, but please don't put me in certain circumstances that require me to take drastic measures. I'm confident in my ability to keep secrets. You don't have to worry about that. To be honest, I'm surprised and flattered that you agreed to reveal the secret to me without much hesitation. So many people have died, I had no other choice. And I'd like to know what secrets are hidden behind this incident too. In that case, I'm all ears. Do you know that Welt used to be an assistant at Lab 42? Of course, everyone knows. But what do you know about his past before he joined Lab 42? Well, I don't know. Now that she mentioned it, I just realized that there's no intel about Welt Joyce's past. Much like, not much to the character in the actual story. It's because of the Institute's strict intel control measures. Welt used to be the Institute's top secret sample before he was transferred to Lab 42. Oh. Sample, you say? Yes, sample for an experiment, codename Omega-1. Nice. Omega-1, you say? You don't need me to... you don't need to know his real identity. I can't reveal it anyway, but I can tell you the Omega-2 Welt had been tracing. We had been tracing were the only 2 copies of Omega-1 that the Institute had successfully made back when Welt served as the sample. The only 2 copies? Wait a second. Does that mean Joffrey? You're indeed incisive. Incisive? Insive. What is that? Incisive? Incisive. Decisive. Indecisive. What is that word? I don't even know what that word is. Doctor, yes, the boy whom you just met is one of the 2 copies. Who'd have thought that this is what direct descendant really means? But unfortunately, those 2 boys didn't get Welt's powers. Powers? Question mark. Don't mind that. In short, as they failed to meet the expectations, the Institute Okay, Einstein. Okay, Einstein. They didn't get his powers. Powers, you say? Oh, don't mind that. It was just a slip of the tongue. As they failed to meet the expectations, the Institute decided to dispose of Omega-2. Upon learning of this, Welt intervened with the influence of Lab 42 and managed to protect one of them at last, but the other one went missing ever since. I see, so Mr. Joyce acquired the intel that this missing Omega-2 was last seen in ST Fountain. Unfortunately, when he acquired the intel, the cataclysm had already struck. So he led Lab 42 to ST Fountain not just to fight against the disaster, but also investigate the whereabouts of Omega-2. Correct. Our informant in the Institute told us the cause of the cataclysm had something to do with a certain experiment, but we couldn't find any records of the participants and details of the experiment. So that's why the Institute hired outsiders to conduct the experiment. What did you say? Knock, knock. Someone knocks on the door, I guess. There was a timely knock on the door. It's open. I ended this conversation before Einstein could ask any more questions. Oops. Oops. Am I interrupting something? What's wrong, Irene? I just came to inform you that Sora just woke up. Damn straight. Where the fuck does Seely come into this? Oh, god fucking damn it. God damn it, Seely. Where do you come into this? Are you guys talking stigmas? When I saw Sora, Joffrey was sitting by her bed. To my surprise, it was his stepsister Bronya who was with him rather than Dr. Tesla. Good morning, sir. Good morning, Bronya. Where's Dr. Tesla? She's still studying the data about the Phantom, but Joey wants to check in on Sora. Bronya, there's something I'd like to talk about with the doctor. Can you take Joffrey somewhere else for a minute? Sure, come on, Joester. Joffrey took Bronya's hand and they went out together. Seeing this made me begin to doubt my assumption. From what I saw, they were so close as siblings with blood ties. Can't imagine she came to fight for the inheritance. Joachim told me Bronya cared deeply about a little girl in the orphanage, but she didn't make it into the disaster. Seely. Joey's true identity cannot be known, and he's been really weak that walking was impossible for him until recently. It's the first time Bronya has seen him in 5 whole years. Maybe she was reminded of some very fond memories. Ahem, Conan Doyle says. Sora, how do you feel? Can we all just take a moment to appreciate Sora? What a character. Make Sora playable when? Make Sora playable when? So, I'm much better now. Sora's eyes were dull, her voice weak, and her face washed by tears. Apparently, she had learned Raven's death. Would you mind if I ask you a few questions? Conan Doyle asked. She nodded softly and I pulled a chair close to her bed to sit down. Could you tell me what happened last night? From the blackout until now. Alright, but I can't remember some of it and I had this weird dream. It's okay, just tell me what you still remember. Last night after the blackout, I felt someone grab me from behind. Gasp. I screamed and I tried to break free, but then something hit me in the back of the head and I passed out. And then? I don't know how long I had passed, but I was somewhere else when I woke up. A small alley, I think. My hands and feet were all tied up. I tried to scream for help, but my mouth was stuffed with a rag. I struggled to get up and look around, but then I saw him. He was in a black cloak, and his face was behind a mask. He just stood there in the rain, and he didn't say a single word. I wanted to ask him who he was, why he took me, but my head was swimming. What does that even mean? And I couldn't see clearly, and Sura was frowning and wrestling with her memory. I waited quietly for her to continue. And then, he took out a knife and began to wipe it. One swipe, 2, 3... My mind wanted to escape, but my head was so dizzy, and all I could think of was sleep. Honestly, that's a vibe right there. That's a vibe. Dizzy! Grey Serpent drugged her. No. I ran a brief test on her last night, and no residuals of anesthetic chemicals was found. After a while, this man finished wiping the knife and turned to me. I was scared to death, but I couldn't even scream loud. He walked up to me and lifted his knife. I held my breath for what came next. And just then, Sensei! She showed up. Oh, so she made it just in the nick of time, did she? Sora nodded and then looked away, keeping her tearful face from us. Sensei, she saved me. She fought the masked man hard. I never saw her so angry. Then what? What did you see after the event? The masked man was losing and Sensei knocked him down. Sora's recall had matched my assumptions so far, but it was her next words that really mattered. Who killed your sensei and wrote the word in blood? I didn't see. I fell asleep. Nice. Asleep, you say? After Sensei beat down the bad guy, she walked to me. Once I knew we were safe, I couldn't hold back the sleepiness any longer. My eyelids became heavier and heavier. When did you wake up? Just right now in this room. Bronya was taking care of me. She told me, Sensei, I can't remember anything. Nothing at all. No. But I had a weird dream when I was asleep. Dream? What kind of dream are we talking about? In the dream, I became someone else. A girl dressed in blue. Who are we referencing here? Mrs. Sealy, I believe. This is uncanny! Right when we found Jackal's body, I seem to have seen a girl in blue too. You didn't say that when you... What? No, you didn't say that, Conan. Conan, you didn't say that. He didn't say that. He didn't say it. The girl seemed very sad, and I started to feel sad too. The girl, did she do anything to you? No. In the dream, I was her. I saw a man holding my hand in the pouring rain, but I couldn't see his face clearly. He kept saying something, but I couldn't understand. It's just a bad dream, right, Doctor? The moment I wanted to comfort her, I was struck by a violent dizziness. This was not the first time. When I opened my eyes again, Sora, Irene, and Dr. Einstein were all gone. All I could see was a beautiful lady. An azure shadow. Find me! Stop it! The girl in blue whispered so, and then I became her. Alright, fair enough. Fair, oh shit! Everyone's here, the whole squad's here. Sealy, fucking these guys. Oh, Jackal's kind of hot. Let's just get a nice zoom in on Jackal really quickly. Oh shit. Oh fuck. Let's get, well that's not fucking useful. Okay, hold up. How do you walk in this game, bro? Is there no walk feature? Hold on, let me get a nice close up. Don't, oh! Bro. Maybe if I... No, this way, that way. Bro, oh fuck, this is so hard. This is actually one of the hardest things I've ever had to do is try to get a boob shot of a character. Come on, game. No, shit, no. Oh, that's, oh fuck. Okay, one of her boobs is not, oh fuck, then it zooms in. Or maybe if I stand right behind her and wait for it to zoom in. Hold up. Okay, right here, this is the perfect distance. Right here, it's gonna zoom in and she's gonna be on the right side of the screen. Oh, bro, fuck me, this is so difficult! She's not playable, honestly sad. Not sure, let's all just watch play. This event rerun, so no walk feature. Bro, they need to add the walk feature so I can get a nice boob shot. Alright, Jackal, what do you got for me? Jackal, what did you do to Joffrey? Easy now, Jokum. Joffrey's modification and debugging are almost done. Testing is in order now, but he's just a kid. Keep your researchers cool. He's just a test subject, a means to achieve the end. Jackal and Jokum. Jackal looks pretty much the same, but Jokum seems a lot younger. They seem to be fighting over Joffrey. Joffrey, why would this name come up here? Sorry. Oh. Yeah, that's done. These two guys. You're leaving. Of course, I've done my part and I got paid for no reason for me to linger. Stay and witness history. History? What does that have to do with me? Still the Raven I know. Who else can I... Oh shit, someone's happened with the screen. Oh no, this is where the not the deception. The betrayal happens. Wah! Wah! Joey, are you alright? They say I'm sick and it's bad. Is it true, Mr. Jokum? You're not sick. Trust me, everything will be fine. Sick? What happened to him? You like that? Like, that was a good crying impression, right? Oh, it's Bronya. It's Bronya. Shh! I think Joey is not getting treatment. We can't trust anyone from the church, not even Mr. Jokum. Don't worry, I'll keep you both safe. Thank you. I don't know. This is a bit of a paradox. Oh shit, I just noted there's a robot in there. Oh, hey, what's up, dude? Okay, Sealy meets Sealy? Bro, what is happening? What the fuck is happening? I was there once again, only this time it became much more realistic. I opened my palms and found two small, soft hands which clearly belonged to the unnamed girl. I had no doubt what I just saw was something about the test that took place 5 years ago. But why? Why would this strange memory come to me? Whose memory is this? If it's the girl who is sharing it with me, then what purpose is it for? With a million questions, I slowly walk to the azure shadow in the darkness. The rose is red. The violet is in fact blue. Mary is sweet. And so are you. Bars. Bars, dude. Straight fire. Let's yeah, we have to relive that experience. Look at these bars. Rose is red, dude. Oh, nice. Violets are blue. Woo. Is it Mary or Mary? Mary is sweet, or Mary is sweet. So, and so are you. Who thought of this? Who thought of these lines? Oh my god. The rose is red, and Mary is blue. We were deceived, and so are you. She never turned around to face me, only singing this familiar nursery rhyme again and again in a weeping voice. I picked up the pace trying to catch up, but the harder I tried, the further she got away, and all of a sudden, I was cast out from this dream world. Comes in with that music. The walk feature is available starting on chapter 26. No shot. No shot. That's cap, dude. That has to be cap. Murderer! What is it? Irene Adler asked. Doctor's right. The incision on the body could have only been made by someone much shorter. Oh, we can't let her know this. It's too cruel for a child. We are in an empty utility room in the underground lab of the mansion, which is now a bit crowded due to the 3 corpses lying side by side. Have you checked Mr. Joyce's body in the treatment room next door? Yes, I have. It's indeed him, and I've checked all vital signs. He's dead. For real. I'm curious, did you already suspect Sora before you visited her today? Just a simple guess based on the position of the scarlet word on the wall. They're assuming Sora is the killer? What? That way, to be quite frank, it does make sense. To be quite frank, it does make sense, doesn't it? Does make sense, eh? Because she was next to Jackal when she killed her. When Jackal died. And then Sora just disappeared, so she probably ran away. And then she's the only surviving witness of the Raven and Grey Serpent fight. Okay. Just a simple guess based on the position of the Scarlet Word on the wall, and also she's she's only fucking 5'3", so obviously she can only ride on the lower part of the walls. It was almost level with Raven's head, who died sitting on the ground leaning against the wall. And an adult of a normal height would need to bend over or squat down to write the word, which would mean not a comfortable posture for writing. But the word was obviously written smoothly, which means the writer of the word was likely to be the same height as a child, and there happened to be a child on the scene. It's common sense, not a law, so it cannot be used as evidence in legal procedure. You're witty as ever, Doctor. Though the process of your reasoning followed facts and common sense, the deduction you've reached sounds improbable. I agree with Miss Adler, your deduction this time is just implausible. Do you really think the perpetrator of the serial killing is a phantom? I'm not sure, Hua. Those who doubt always try to fit their own guesses into facts, but I deduce from facts and see if my deductions fit. This is what I've deducted from the facts known to us. As I talk, I bent over and shifted Grey Serpent's body. So I was right, after all. I think we can skip the reasoning and directly identify the murderer, but I need you to help me with something first. The air is filled with delicate floral scent. Yes, this is the source of the scent. I'm standing in the yard in front of the mansion, sniffing at the fragrance of rosemary. A man is carefully pruning next to me. I didn't know you were interested in flowers too, Doctor. Oh, I have learned some basic botany for the professional reasons. Rosemary stems are lignified. Are they talking about liquefied or they're lignified quickly? Too much pruning may harm the growth of new foliage, so it's best not to trim off more than half of the stem's overall length at one time. And what you're doing is textbook pruning, Mr. Yoakum. These plants must have been well tended in the past 5 years. I see you're very proud of your endless erudition. What are these words? Erudition? Whatever. I heard the complacency in your tone. Yoakum responded without even looking up. I raised an eyebrow. You seem to have a distaste for me, Mr. Yoakum. I just hope you can do your job properly. Doctor, I don't want to see Bronya worried and scared. It's your duty to find the murderer and put an end to these horrors. Are you sure you can afford wasting time here? In my defense, I am doing my job right now. What? I abruptly approached Yohim, clutched his wrist, and whispered to him, "You know who the murderer is from the very beginning, don't ya?" I don't know what you're talking about, but now I know Dr. Einstein shouldn't have trusted you with this case. His breathing was steady and his pulse did not quicken, so I decided to drop another bomb. She is here, isn't she? The second bomb has obviously caused damage. Yohim's body quivered. His hand seems to be frozen on the rosemary stems. I can tell that he is trying hard to calm himself down. I don't understand the thing you said, Doctor, but you're making me very, very uncomfortable. It's alright, all the puzzles will clear up soon. I let go of his wrist and took a look at my watch. It's about time. Come with me, please. Let's settle this matter once and for all. Is Yohim the killer? Who's the... I want to say it has to be... Okay. It's Sora. Sora's the killer. Ligma? I don't know what that word was. Lignation? I don't think that's a word. I think they made shit up. It's time, bro. Is it? Oh, God. When I stepped into the hall, everyone was present except Hua and the bedridden Sora. Doctor, I've gathered everyone here as you've requested. Thank you, Dr. Einstein. I scanned around, passing through everyone's face before I cleared my throat. Hey, is it true you found the murderer, expert Snoopy Man? Well, Dr. Tesla, how about you call me something else? Whatever, stop holding it up and just tell us who it is. Sure. The conclusion is, Grey Serpent killed Mr. Joyce, but he was not responsible for the other 3 murders. And I presume it is someone among us then, Doctor? Yes, but we'll get to that part later. First, let's look at how Mr. Welt Joyce was murdered. After all, this is the very reason I'm here now. Dr. Einstein, may I? As Dr. Einstein nodded in consent, I went over what I was going to say in my head. It all started 5 years ago, if not any earlier. Mr. Joyce had 2 lineal descendants, one is Joey and the other one went missing years ago. Let's just call the other one Omega 2. 5 years ago, the catastrophic event hit ST Fountain and Lab 42 came for relief. This was just an appearance. What Mr. Joyce truly wished to find was the test that caused the disaster and Omega 2. Every sign leads to the fact that the higher-ups of the church had a hand in the test, but no record was found. Naturally, according to Raven, no one from the church was directly involved. The tests were led by Jackal. Grey Serpent was the material supplier. Raven handled the delivery of materials. Oh, what a team they make. Wait, what do you mean by materials? I think you know Jackal better than me. It wasn't the first time for her to meddle with human subjects. That's ridiculous. If she took in a lot of human subjects, how could she get away with unwanted attention? I believe you've noticed, Dr. Tesla, back then in SG Fountain there was a place to take in orphans legitimately. Yohim! Is it true you were managing the church just for this atrocious business? Tesla's anger silenced the whole hall. Everyone held their breath and looked at the same person. Yohim pursed. Pursed? Yohim pursed his lips and slowly closed his eyes. Dr. Tesla, it must be a mistake. Mr. Yohim, I know. It is indeed a mistake. I asked Raven about Mr. Yohim's role in the tests. She told me he was kept in the dark all along, right until the city was turned into ruins. But can we take her word for it? I believe yes. Raven confessed after she saw Mr. Joyce's notes, which pointed out Mr. Joyce was onto Grey Serpent. The test on human subjects led to SD Fountain's fall. Once revealed, the truth will crucify, and I mean crucify, everyone involved. So, Grey Serpent acted first and killed Welt. This explains Grey Serpent's motive. This explains his motive. The general motive of the robot man. AI. After Jackal's death and Sora's kidnap, Raven became sure Grey Serpent meant to silence everyone involved. She made the confession knowing she'd probably die in Grey Serpent's hands. I don't think she had any reason to lie. I was there too, and I believe she was telling the truth. No, wait! I'm not sure I'm following. The test that caused the catastrophe and Grey Serpent's motive, I got this part. But Yohim, you knew what was after all these years. Why did you keep your goddamn mouth shut? What the hell is your plan? Dr. Tesla, or Dr. Tesla rather, not Tesla. I believe Mr. Yohim will give us a convincing explanation himself. But before that, let's return to the case itself. The killer of Jackal, Grey Serpent, and Raven is still among us. They're still among us. What? But to follow what you just told us, Grey Serpent killed Welt, Jackal, and kidnapped Sora. Raven then killed him to save Sora at the cost of her life. That explains everything, right? It's a fine story, but I believe you left out something important. Rache! The blood writing. Yes, what I'm about to say might sound far-fetched, so I'd like to begin with 2 murderers after Mr. Joyce. In normal circumstances, Dr. Tesla's explanation makes perfect sense. If not for the blood writings of Rache. Rache means revenge in German. It was Grey Serpent. He apparently didn't kill for revenge. Or if it was Grey Serpent, he apparently didn't kill for revenge. On the other hand, if the writing was merely a distraction, then why didn't we see it near Mr. Joyce's body? True. Dr. Tesla and Einstein said when they found Mr. Joyce, Grey Serpent was also there with a knife on his back. But when they got Mr. Joyce to the emergency room and returned, Grey Serpent was gone. I examined Grey Serpent's body firsthand trying to get an answer. The back wound went to the heart, a fatal blow. And the wound had rotten so much that it's safe to say he died exactly around the time of Mr. Joyce's death. What? Which means a corpse rose from the dead and killed Jackal and Raven before it was finally put to rest. And that's... sorry, Vent, true, same. And that's where they're wrong. That indeed defies everything logical. To begin with, it's hard to imagine all 3 directly involved in the test should show up in ST Fountain together. Ha! That is hardly a coincidence. The killings were for revenge, and 3 victims shared one thing in common: the Forsaken tests 5 years ago. So, of all the people here today, who has the best reason to see these 3 dead? The hall fell silent after my question. It was more than obvious. Doctor, that sounds very that's very sound reasoning. But I must say the conclusion is based on the unfounded presumption of guilt. Yes, Bronya and I were victims of the horrendous event 5 years ago, but that doesn't mean we're guilty. And I'd like to remind you, both of us were by your side when the 2 murders took place. You're right, motive doesn't make you a murderer. But there are too many things about you that make no sense. You knew exactly what happened 5 years ago, but you never said anything to Mr. Joyce after joining Lab 42. You knew Jackal was responsible for the tragedy, but you still made her Bronya's governess nonetheless. You knew more tragedies would follow if they got their hands on Mr. Joyce's legacy, but you still invited them here. Unless, of course, none of them would walk out of the manor alive in your plan. Utter gibberish, he says. Utter gibberish. Say whatever you want. Everyone here, including yourself, is our alibi. As long as this stands, everything you said is just a wild fantasy. Ha 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 ha. Conan laughs. I knew it would eventually come to this. I sighed and put the comlink prepared by Dr. Tesla close to my lips. Action speaks louder than words, and that's how I'm going to prove my theory. Hua, how is the preparation going on your side? I'm ready, Doctor. I turned to face the group with a grim look. I'm going to burn every rosemary in the yard! I'm going to burn every rosemary in the yard, he says. I found surprise on Dr. Tesla and Bronya's face, but before they could speak, someone's breakdown came faster. Stop it! You can't do this, he says. Care to explain me why Dr. Einstein has given her consent? Oh, Yohim's mad. Don't worry, Mr. Yohim. Dr. Tesla told me the church was burned down 5 years ago, but the rosemaries survived. It might take quite some time, but unfortunately, we've prepared enough fuel. It's time for us to find out whether rosemary truly stands for eternity or not. Just bloody stop it, Yohim screams. The hysterical scream came from a man of maturity and refinement. He soon regained calm in everyone's shocked gaze. I confess, I killed Grey Serpent and Jackal and Raven. I killed them, she says. Or he says. What? What's going on? I'm lost here. I'll leave the details to the murderer himself. And before that, I'm afraid we have to temporarily restrain your freedom, Mr. Yohim. Before I finish my words, Hua had came out of hiding and slowly approached Yohim. It's a trap. A bitter smile floated up Joachim's face. To everyone's surprise, someone small stepped forward in front of him. Don't touch him! Bronya! Miss Zacic, I know how you feel. Shut up, you know nothing about him or us. All of this is my plan, my revenge! And this is only the beginning. What a turn of events. Bronya, what the fuck is wrong with you? What a turn of events. Okay. Alright, fair enough. Ow. Fucking hell, Bronya. What the fuck? Alright, so it's... Okay. You know what? It kind of does make sense. Fucking Bronya. Why would Bronya want revenge? I guess it has to do with Sealy, right? Oh. It has to do with Sealy. Something to do with that. Panting Bronya is, just quit it, Miss Bronya. Your enemies are all gone. You can stop now, Bronya. No, I can't stop. You don't understand. I used to be very grateful to Grey Serpent who brought me a lowly child soldier. Who brought me, a lowly child soldier, back from the battlefield. In the church, I met Sealy and Joey, my beloved little sister and brother. For the first time in my life, I felt there was something worth cherishing in the world. But that woman named Jackal, she had been making modifications to all the orphans in the name of treatment. I knew something wasn't right, so I started my own investigation. I thought I'd been doing it secretly, but they were still alerted. Raven and Grey Serpent somehow knew my plan to confront Sensei, so they pushed me down the stairs! When I woke up again, I had already been sent to one of the Institute hospitals outside of SD Fountain. I tried so many times to leave, I wanted to return to SD Fountain to take Sealy and Joey away, but at that time, I hadn't recovered from my leg injury, so all of my escapes failed, and one day, I read in the newspapers that a cataclysm occurred in SD Fountain had become a dead city. Bronya. Over the years, I've done many investigations with all resources I could possibly access. I even used my bequeathment to lure my enemies. Project Pseudo-Herstia, this was the name of the experiment. It was to create powerful Pseudo-Herstias by modifying the copies of the first Herstia, Welt Joyce. How do you know about all this, Bronya? They did those human experiments on the orphans purely out of their sick craving for powers. In the end, the project failed, SD Fountain was ruined, and my little brother became a nameless monster who killed our sister. What? What? The Phantom of SD Fountain is Omega 2? They all deserve to die. So I used Grey Serpent to kill Jackal so that I didn't have to get her evil blood on my hands. Grey Serpent was the next. His first death was an accident, but I didn't want to let him off easy. I was right, wasn't I? Raven once mentioned she was also an orphan, taken in by Grey Serpent. It was him who trained her to be a mercenary, so I controlled Grey Serpent to take Sora to have him killed again by his own pupil. As for Raven, she was ridiculously naive as a merciless mercenary. After everything she had done, she started to adopt orphans all of a sudden. I couldn't stop laughing when I first heard about that. Trying to go straight and make amends? No way. Bad people only deserve to die alone in the shadows. So you controlled Sora to kill her! Controlled Sora to kill her? You're indeed incisive, Doctor. The bitterness of being killed by someone she cared and protected, she must taste it, just like my sister did. I should have thought of this earlier. I thought the merciless Avenger who had been hiding in the dark was Joachim, but I didn't know. You had been holding such violent hatred. Anyway, this should be the end of your revenge. Your enemies are all gone. The end? Doctor, no. Do you really think my revenge is complete after I killed the 3 pawns? Shixel, the Institute, I know this behemoth is behind all this. When first I realized... Oh, shut up. Oh god, I'm burping. When I first realized Shixel was behind the project, I swore I'd one day erase its entire existence from this world. I opened my mouth but failed to say anything. My usual calmness had been overwhelmed by Bronya's deep resentment. Her obsession with revenge is too intense to be eased by a sense of justice. So, I can't stop now. Bronya gave a cruel smile. She reached out her hand and gently stroked Joachim's cheek. Why? What? The fuck? Bronya gave a cruel smile and she reached out and gently stroked Joachim's cheek. You'll protect me, right? Joffrey! What? Yes, Bronya, my dear big What? What? Hold up. Wait, whoa. What? Sentience transfer? Maybe. Yes, Bronya, my dear big sister. Yohim has a calm look on his face, but somehow I see a trace of craziness on it. The next moment, deafening roar. A fierce roar came from nowhere. What the? A hideous monster emerged out of the thin air behind Bronya and Yohim, and then next second the monster took Bronya and Yohim and vanished. We all know the monster's name, but only Dr. Tesla came back to senses from the shock and said it out loud. It was the Phantom of ST Fountain. Fair enough, dude. Fair enough. The secret is next. Alright, push onwards. Joffrey? Yohim? Is Omega 2? I figured it out instantly. The Joffrey that Bronya just mentioned is not the timid little boy who follows around Dr. Einstein. But Omega 2. If Omega 2 is... Oh, sorry, if Yohim is Omega 2, then what is that phantom? Doctor! Fu woke me up from my contemplation. What should we do now, Doctor? We have no devices or techniques to track down that phantom. Don't worry about it, Einstein. It's Bronya and Yohim that we should track down, not the phantom. Before we assembled here, I borrowed a tracking device from Dr. Tesla and managed to stick it to Yohim's coat. Was it when you were in the yard? You knew back then that the phantom would come? Of course not. I'm not a psychic. I was just taking precautions to prevent them from running away. The real problem is, we don't have any weapons or measures that could hurt the phantom. Even if we could track down Bronya and Yohim with the phantom around, we wouldn't be able to bring them back. Oh, you don't need to worry about that. Huh? I've been analyzing the data we collected from the phantom after our encounter with it. The analysis went well and I made this device based on the results. It can interfere with quantum states. I think it will effectively hurt the phantom if we activate it in battle. Then let's set off. Let's set off, boys. Get into it. The hunt for Bronya and Yohim. Or Joffrey? I guess we call him Joffrey now? Yeah, the hunt for Joffrey continues. ST Fountain Railway Station, the only link with the city with the outside world. With a twisted Mr. Void, 2 people and a monster emerged. Thank you, Mr. Yohim. Sorry, this is all my fault. No, Joffrey. What? Why is she calling him 2 different names? No, Joffrey, Conan Doyle is every bit as good as his name, and we were caught off guard by his cheap shot. I wonder how he came to know about the Rosemary secret. Maybe not on his own, but with some help from Sealy. Enough! How many times must I repeat it? She's dead, and whatever is in the flowers is not her. But if she was, she'd come to me long ago. What should we do now, he says. Leave ST Fountain and lay low before the time is right for our next move. They've all paid with their blood. The only thing left for us to do is leave. I believe Conan comes out of nowhere. We still have unsettled business here, Miss Zacic. Gasps, she says. Who is there? Phew, made it in time. Never thought Dr. Tessa's wild driving would actually do some good one day. Miss Zacic, come with us, please. No way. No way you could locate the phantom. Why? She suddenly thought of something and began to search herself. Failing to find what she looked for, she tugged Yohim over and finally found a red dot on the inside of his sleeve. Another cheap shot. Whatever works, eh? Prepare to transfer. However, this time the phantom could not just vanish into thin air with the two like last time. How? It let out a scream of puzzlement and confusion. After all this time, you still think we're unable to develop any countermeasures? Checkmate, Miss Zacic. Checkmate. Absolutely rolled and smoked. Right, I need to get rid of this quantum armor. There's one. nice. Hey, what's up, Jeff? Welcome to stream, man. Welcome, welcome. Weak Raw, which is like rar, I guess. Without the protection of the quantum state, the Phantom finally fell down under our overwhelming attacks. Its physical composition is very unstable. It might still come back to life if we don't annihilate it now. But I know what you're worried about, Fu. But this Phantom is not Omega 2. It's nothing but a Honkai beast. If Fu Hua doesn't have the heart to end its life, leave the dirty work to me then. Irene brushed past us and raised her deadly scythe. The Phantom under the scythe is like a wounded beast in a trap awaiting its doom. Sensei! A scream was heard along with a sound of metal clashing together. Bronya in her shield was knocked over by Irene's giant scythe. Sensei? I suddenly thought of a detail of the intel Fu told me. It was when they first met the Phantom. When Joachim was shielding Bronya with himself, the Phantom suddenly stopped its attack and disappeared. It turns out when Bronya cried out Sensei, she was actually calling this hideous monster rather than Joachim. Stop, Irene! I shouted at the last second. To my surprise, Irene unhurriedly held her scythe, as if it was what she had expected. Hey, expert Snoop, didn't you hear what I just said? Doctor, what is going on? This is unbelievable. I'm kind of confused. I thought the serial murder and Grey Serpent's undead corpse were already uncanny, but there's actually something even more unexpected. I believe this Phantom is the real Joachim, the sensei and father of the orphans before the Cataclysm. Uh-huh. Huh? What? Does that make sense? I don't know. I guess we'll find out. That was quite the plot twist. You saw it through. After all. Bronya slowly hobbled over to us, leaning on Joachim. You're right, this Phantom is Joachim, who was our sensei 5 years ago. What? Nani? I have a question, Omega 2. No, Mr. Joffrey. I remember Miss Bronya once mentioned that the failed experiment turned you into a mindless monster 5 years ago. Yes, though I don't remember anything about the experience, I saw the horrible memories stored in this body. Seely, my big sister, was killed by me. Then how did you get into this body? Come to think of it, it seems more like a soul swap perhaps. Sentience transfer. I don't know, I really don't know. This body gave me all of Sensei's memories, experiences, and knowledge, except for the memory of the soul swap. All I could remember was the promise that Sensei made to Seely before she died. A promise, you say? He promised to let me die as a human, even if it means he may have to exchange his soul with the devil. I shouldn't say this as a scientist, but this paranormal phenomenon seems to only make sense when devils are involved. I feel like that's like a roast. Fair cop, Einstein, fair cop. Doctor, we've answered your question, so please answer our question in exchange. As long as I have the answer. I'd like to know, how did you find out about the secret of Rosemary? Find out? Pfft, you overestimated me, Bronya. If your sister had left me those hints, I never thought floral scents could be used as a medium of possession. Hold on. What are you two talking about here? What's going on right now? In the mansion, I played some tricks to make the murderer confess, which sparked off a series of unexpected events. But I haven't explained to you what kind of magic they've used to control Grey Serpent's dead body and make the murders happen. First devils, now magic? Am I still in the real world? Probably not, Einstein, probably not. They might be the same thing, I think. What does that mean? I once said that there was something paradoxical about the serial murder. The word rache written with blood. It's true that in many cases the murderers intentionally left messages at the crime scenes to display their will. But in this case, the word actually made the Grey Serpent murdered... but in this case, the word actually made the Grey Serpent murdered all the insiders of the experiment to cover himself, story less credible. And that was a long quote. So it occurred to me, maybe the one who wrote the word was trying to reveal the real motive of the murderer. And what happened next... Oh! That's cool, actually. That's pretty interesting. Actually, that's pretty... Wow! What writing is that? That's nice. So Jackal... when Jackal and Raven were killed, the word Rashay was there pretty much within writing distance of their body in proportion. So with Jackal, I think she was lying face down and the word was above her head, right? And so that means that she wrote the word to tell us that it's a revenge plot, right? She did it to tell us that it's a revenge plot, so we have to look for who's dealing revenge. And then in Raven's case, we made the assumption that it was Sora, or the accusation that it was Sora because of head height, but the only other person at head height with Raven is Raven herself, so she wrote the word because she's there and wanted to get, again, the same plot of revenge across. That is quite interesting. I can't remember if a Grey Serpent had it, but wow, that's very interesting. That's one way to do it. Fair enough. What happened next bore out my assumption. When I was visiting Sora, I fell into a dream in which I became a strange little girl. Through her eyes, I saw what happened in a certain lab before the cataclysm happened. And in the end of the dream, I heard the girl humming a certain poem. The rose is red, the violet is in fact blue. Mary is sweet, and so are you. The rose is red, and Mary is indeed in blue. Or rather, is indeed blue. We were deceived, and so are you. Ah! Yes. It's the same poem left on Mr. Joyce's desk at his death scene. I was finally sure that the girl in my dream was real, and she had been trying to send messages to us. And obviously, Mr. Joyce has also met this girl before. He mentioned about her in his notes and that I found in his room. So, it occurred to me, maybe this girl was trying to tell us more. In fact, when I was in the dream, Irene, Einstein, and Sora all saw that I walked to the window, opened it, and started to mutter to myself. If that behavior was also a hint, then the girl must have some sort of ability to control people's bodies in dream. Crazy as it may sound, it could explain all the illogical aspects of this case. Such as... Dr. Einstein, I remember you told me that you heard Mr. Joyce talking to someone on the phone before he was killed. Yes, I assume that because I only heard his voice as the conversation proceeded. What if Mr. Joyce was in a state similar to the one I was in? He could be talking to the air just like I did. It is possible. I remember Ms. Bronya mentioned in her confession that Mr. Joyce's death was an accident. So I think it was because Mr. Joyce's unconsciousness that Grey Serpent easily murdered him, and then the girl controlled Mr. Joyce's body to give Grey Serpent an unexpected stab in the back, and controlled Grey Serpent's body to leave the scene. Fuck me. Your imagination is impressive. You're a natural novelist, and an ordinary detective would have been trapped in common sense. But you managed to break free and even devised a method of trickery to verify your wild hypothesis. Well, at that time, I believe making you think I was going to burn down the flowers was the easiest way to reveal the uncanny truth. But what you just explained doesn't have anything to do with Rosemary. Oh, about that. It was actually also a hint from the girl, you know. I told you, she controlled me to open the window. So after I woke up from the dream, I looked out the window and saw nothing but a yard full of rosemaries. So I kind of like pieced the two together, like rosemaries and then the girl and the field and rosemaries. So I was like, yeah, kind of makes sense. Which reminded me of the first time I fell into a dream about the girl. It was when I was examining Jackal's corpse. I smelt a pleasant floral scent from Joachim, who was standing next to me. Then I suddenly realized that I knew that scent. I had smelt it several times. In Mr. Joyce's room, on Grey Serpent's rotting body, and on Sora, whom I visited after Raven's death. I see. That's how you knew Raven was killed by the possessed Sora. Not just that, the angle of the incision in Raven's throat also suggested the murderer was much shorter than her. And the height of the scarlet word on the wall agreed with this conjecture. I see, I was wrong. On top of all this, I found a familiar face in the role of Cataclysm victims that I borrowed from Dr. Einstein. The girl who made me see what had happened in the lab 5 years ago must be someone from the orphanage, and I found her. Her name was Celie Valore, who was Bronya Zajić's little sister and best friend in the orphanage. Thank you for elaborating, Doctor, but I don't think the girl hiding in Rosemary's scent is my sister Celie. Bronya, you're not being fucking helpful right now. If it really was her, then why did she reveal my plan to you while assisting... Sorry. If it really was her, then why did she reveal my plan to you while assisting me with my revenge? I see you still haven't understood, Bronya. It's certainly because she loves her sister and little brother deeply. So she's been helping them while still hoping someone would find out and rescue them from the gory path of revenge. Maybe you're right, Doctor. Bronya opened her hand. There's a glowing mauve bloom in her palm. It's rosemary, the flower of memories. Why? Oh shit, I clicked. Why would you rather appear in other people's dreams than coming to me? If Doctor is right, if that's how you really feel... Bronya hesitated no more. She raised the rosemary and gently kissed the delicate petals. Then show me. A strange fragrance diffused like a night breeze as the rosemary in Bronya's hand dissolved into red and black hues. For a moment, I seemed to see a red figure soundlessly emerge behind Bronya. She embraced Bronya's slender neck, then their figures overlapped. Oh, is this an enemy? No shot. Oh god. Oh fuck. Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh, fair, no, dude. Fair, dude. Fair enough. Yeah, fair. Why are we fighting her? Why are we fighting her? I thought she was helping us. Why are we now fucking up Seelie? She's become even more violent. Bro, I thought we were on good terms. Chuck one of these bad boys in. Bam. Nice. Let me get a drink of water really quickly. My throat is getting nice and hoarse. Let me get a drink of water, boys. It's all over. She was exhausted. She could feel the raging fury that used to control her faded gradually and vanished at last. The rosemary in her hand, which was supposed to bloom eternally, had withered and become hideous, sear remains. What the fuck is that? Wait, what? Whatever. So this is how you refuted me. By helping me vent my anger until we were both hurt and exhausted. So this is what awaits at the end of the path of revenge, isn't it? Nice. She's crying, which is not nice, but nice picture. The rain kept pouring down. Bronya weakly looked up. Her eyes widened in surprise. Don't do my girl Seelie like that. What the hell, man? Don't do my homegirl Seelie like that. You making her cry? Why? Why are you making her cry, huh? Honkai Impact, what are you doing, huh? Why are you making her cry? She saw a clear, vivid figure. It's her friend, her sister, and her family. For so many years, she has been treating this figure as just a figment, a phantom, and a handy tool for her revenge. Because the phantom never smiled or poked at her, or kept her warm when the cold came, like Seelie used to. But she just realized Seelie has always been with her. She was just blinded by the intense hatred in her mind. She knows it's Seelie, because only Seelie would shed sorrowful tears for her. Seelie! Seelie! Bronya! Joey! I've known this all along because I've been looking after the rosemary and our memories. Though Seelie cannot talk to us, she has always been with us. I'm sorry, Bronya, but rather than taking revenge, I want the three of us together. Joey, Seelie. Tears ran down her cheeks for the first time since she indulged herself in the overwhelming desire for vengeance. She felt her real emotions. Then she saw an unreal image. In bright white light, a gentle cultivated man and a girl in blue are leaving hand in hand. The man looked back and waved at her with a comforting smile, as if he just perceived her gaze. Take care, dear Bronya. They said their farewell and faded away in the white light. When she came back to her senses, she found the serene flower remains. I think that may be serene. I don't know. Seri flower remains in her hand, gone with the wind, and the monstrous phantom was also gone. Ah! She screams. She finally started to wail miserably. Case closed, Doctor. Yeah, the only thing left to do is deal with the two culprits, which is not the detective's job. Dr. Einstein, I think we should let Mr. Joyce decide. I didn't expect another twist in the end. How fascinating. You're making no sense, Doctor. Agreed, I have no idea what you're talking about. Of course. Of fucking course. Of course. Of course he's alive. Of course Joyce is alive. Of course. Why did no one see that coming? Why? Of course he didn't die. Ah. No. Ah. Fucking what? What? It's okay, Ein, Tesla. No need to cover for me now that I'm already exposed. A small figure emerged from the corner of the street. Obviously he saw everything that just happened. Joey! It's Joffrey Joyce. Oh no, it's not Welt. Okay, yeah, Joyce. He now looks too solemn as a child, but I can see he's trying to give a friendly smile. I thought I'd been hiding well. Could you tell me when I gave myself away, Doctor? You have indeed hidden well, Mr. Joyce, but there have been many few subtle hints. The first one was the paradoxical aura you exuded when you gave testimony at Jackal's death scene. You weren't like a timid boy at all. I knew it. I'm a fan of your detective stories and I've always wanted to say the lines like that, so I got carried away. But what really makes me realize that you're still alive is something more solid than an intuitive feeling. What is it? The change in Dr. Einstein's attitude. The investigation once came to a dead end before Raven told us about the experiment, which provided a turnaround. But the reason why she told us was because we found the notes about the experiment and Grey Serpent in your room. What's wrong with that? I checked your bookshelf on my first search to your room. The notes weren't there. Of course they weren't. Of course they weren't. And under that circumstance, the way Dr. Einstein infuriated Raven just felt too intentional. Well, I knew I wasn't good at acting. I remember clearly that when we first arrived, Dr. Einstein was loath to talk about the Phantom and the Cataclysm. Yet, she provided me those key clues that could push the investigation forward via such a poor act. Such a dramatic change in her attitude could only be the result of someone's instruction. And I can't think of anyone else in the matter that could order Einstein except for the deceased, Mr. Joyce. I see, that's really impressive. Then what's with your situation? I wouldn't believe it if you told me you turned into a little boy for fun. That's certainly not the case, but I really don't know why it happened. You've already deduced the details of the murder. In fact, I don't remember anything about it. When I woke up again, I was already in this body. I have to ask, now that you're occupying this body, where is the original soul of Omega 2? It doesn't exist. I'm so sorry, Doctor. I had Iron lie to you. There was indeed 2 of my copies, but there is only one Omega 2, which is the Joffrey in Joachim's body. Then this body never woke up since it was made. Though its vital signs have been normal, the lack of a soul still makes it defective. Anyway, I'm still glad to see you're alive, Mr. Joyce. I'm glad to see you, Dr. Conan Doyle. Well, Welt then cast a glance at Bronya and Joffrey and showed a trace of sadness. Mr. Joyce, you are my client. Now that the perpetrators have been identified, the rest is up to you to decide. I'd like to hear your suggestions, Doctor. I pondered for a moment and said in a measured tone, there are a few cases that made me realize sometimes catching the culprits brings more pain than the very crimes, and now I've learned to be more prudent. If I have to choose, I'd rather deceive the rules than my conscience. I think so too. Sometimes one tragedy might lead to another, and this chain reaction may go on further, or forever, which will eventually push everything and everyone into hopeless abyss. Abyss? The 2 of them already bear too much pain. I'm glad to see we're in agreement on this matter. Maybe, my dear Fu, it's time for our return trip, if the train station hasn't been blown up. What the fuck? Why is that a concern? Fu nodded. Her reticence on the occasions like this has been quite comforting for me. Well, to express his gratitude to Irene, I failed to figure out the relationship between them after all. Of course he's alive. Of fucking course he's alive, dude. Why wouldn't he be alive? Fucking bullshit ass bitch. Bullshit ass bitch. Of course he's alive. Seri, especially of vegetation, dry or withered. Okay, so it's an actual word and not like a typo. Fair enough. Thanks, Isaac. Oh, we got one more stage. The finale and the... Oh, no, we got two more, sorry. Finale and Fragment 1. Finale. Ooh. Sorry, let's just do a quick moment. That's nice. Let me say right now, that's nice. That's like a 10 out of 10 right there. 10 out of 10, boys. You do have to kind of go to the side, but it's 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Welt Joyce announced that the members of Lab 42 had been seceded from Shixel and allied with the North American branch of Shixel to form a new anti-Honkai organization named Anti-Entropy. I didn't expect Welt Joyce would have made such a huge move after that incident. But you seem to be indifferent to the shocking news. I'm used to going where the wind blows. I prefer dealing with little cases rather than huge organizations and systems. Anyway, a rival organization to Shixel sounds like the right place for Bronya and Joffrey. I heard you just returned from a long trip. Did Foi, or Fu rather, tell you this? Yes, I went to the East region to take care of Raven's instrument to me. Those orphans she adopted have been taken in by Anti-Entropy. I believe Mr. Joyce will take good care of them. Anyway, though this case has been solved, I still don't have a clue on how the possession via floral scent and soul exchange happened. No one does. I didn't know you'd be so obsessed with the paranormal, Mr. Conan Doyle. Before the phantom vanished, I thought I saw a mirage for a moment. Nice. Another good one. I saw Joachim and Seely leaving in white light. He looked back and waved his hand as if he was thanking someone. Sounds more like he was just waving goodbye, did. No, my intuition told me he was expressing gratitude to someone. And for a moment you seemed to be giving them a wave, though you weren't facing them. Ha ha ha! Oh, I did? Are you sure about that? Of course I am. This serial murder happened in SD Fountain might be the most uncanny case that I have ever experienced in my life. Another one, dude. Another one. 3 in a row! You can't give us 3 in a row, dude. That's too much. And the uncanny... the uncanny part is... the grey serpent we saw wasn't really... Of course it wasn't! Yeah, the grey serpent we saw wasn't the really the grey serpent. The phantom wasn't a phantom, Joachim wasn't Joachim, and even Joffrey wasn't really Joffrey. Then is it possible that Irene Adler wasn't really Irene Adler, and Conan Doyle wasn't the real Conan Doyle? Who are you? Who I am is not important. The real question is, who are you? What is happening? What is happening? I am so confused by this line of questioning. I don't know what's coming. I don't know what's happening right now. Who am I is not important. The real question is, who are you? Me? I'm... You have the answers, but something seems to be clenching your throat and preventing you from voicing them. The people and incidents in your mind are real memories, but it felt as if you're browsing through an old album. Inside an isolated chamber, and the next moment... you fell into eternal darkness. Is he awake? No, he probably needs more time. I've already helped him find himself. It's only a matter of time for him to wake up, but too many times of consciousness mapping have added too many foreign perceptions and cognitions into his mind. If this continues, sooner or later, I know that, he knows that too, but that's his choice. As for you, I find it suspicious that you actually managed to infiltrate Hyperion and seem to know everything about this guy. You're not like me or anyone else on this ship. I can feel it. To be more precise, you are more like him. And who are you?
If I recall correctly, Miss Kong Ming, we made a deal a long time ago. I take him back and you let me have my own little secret. Furtive woman. I've told you my name is Rita Rossweiss. Though I may not be the same Rita you used to know, I wouldn't refuse if you ever feel like snuggling up to me. I'll turn a blind eye for now as a thank you for saving him. Sounds fair. But if I ever find out of whatever you might be scheming to do on Hyperion, you can punish me however you like. I will. This bedroom is yours. If he wakes up, tell him to meet me on the bridge when he feels better. I have a lot to say to him. I feel sorry for him. Huh. Captain? Did you hear that? She seems to be bent out of shape. Please let me escape from reality for a while. You don't seem to be surprised seeing me here. I know you and me are the same. I can feel that thing inside of you. Consciousness mapping is a complicated ability. You may want to stop using it. It synchronizes your consciousness and memories with the objects, which generates an unbearably massive info load. And the increasing amount of cognition residue left inside your mind will impair your self-awareness. Is that so? I didn't think I was the novelist in this time. If you didn't help me remember myself, I wouldn't be here. What the fuck is happening? What is happening? I'm so... Oh. So Rita, does that mean you? Oh, nothing. I just made a nostalgic dream when my mind was still hazy. I feel better now. I'm gonna go meet her on the bridge. Who's here? Woo! Huh, what a reunion. So he do not recognize me at all. Classic Captain. He's always what the fuck is that even? What he's always perspicacious and perceptive about anything except for his own business. But if I put on this dress for him, do you think he would recognize me, Loki? What? Oh, show us the full thing. Show us the full fucking thing. Oh, you don't just give the character another outfit and not show it in full. What is this? I feel like I've been scammed. I feel like I've been fucking scammed. She puts on a different outfit and doesn't even get shown. Actual scam. All right, let me soak in a few things here. Let me just understand. Okay, so everything that just happened wasn't real. Everything that just happened essentially wasn't real. It was all... Well, maybe... Captain's Bizarre Adventure. At this point, I'm always eager just to know the next part. Same. Congratulations. All connected. So Captain's mission is to travel to parallel universe to get rid of the world's enemies. The method is consciousness projection onto someone in that world. The side effect is blending cognition. You know what? Fair cop. Fair cop, dude. That's fair cop. No, his mission is not defeating enemies, it's to find her. Same, I have that same mission, dude. I just need to take a second to like take that all in. That is such a fucking what mind like breaking experience. I would not doubt. Okay, here's the thing. That line where Irene, that line where Irene just asks you, it doesn't matter who I am, but the real question is, who are you? That can actually give people a fucking like a midlife crisis. That line right there will literally give people a midlife crisis. I genuinely like, holy shit. What does that even mean? Who is Conan Doyle? That is a great question. Who is Conan Doyle? We have one more fragment thing to do, so let's do this. The reward is that you get the girl to join your team. Nice. Irene is a very powerful witch and entity of the High Order. She's the captain's friend from the first event, Fallen Rosemary. Yeah. That's fair. Okay. Fallen Rosemary gives all the souls transfer powers. Her job is to play alone and bring the captain back. Ah, gotcha. Okay. Let's do this last fragment. Oh, for fuck's sake, here we go again. It was indeed a tragic scene. The merciless rain poured down, but the remaining fires were still relentlessly burning all over the ruins. The building that was once called home had been wrecked and was almost unrecognizable. The bright full moon in the sky was witnessing everything carefully, or cruelly and soundlessly. A man was standing in hell, gazing into the darkness. Life had escaped from the eyes of the petite little girl who was lying in the ruins like a discarded doll. The raging rain covered all the noise, but the man believed she was there. Can it really save them? The man asked abruptly in a hoarse but calm voice. In a moment, a melodious female voice answered him. Who knows? It brings different results to different wishes. But you have no other choice, don't you? She soundlessly appeared behind him like a dream. Her tone was still bewitching, but with less mockery. You're right, I have no choice. He walked to the little girl and gently picked her up, like carrying a plume of smoke. She already vanished when he stood up, but he walked to the scorched flower bed away, carrying a little girl. The fire had burned down every inch of the church, let alone that clump of delicate rosemary. He looked at the flower bed that was once full of green and mauve hues. Ashes and charred twigs were the only things left, with embers greedily gnawing at them. But he didn't hesitate. He gently put the little girl on the remains of the flowers. I will keep my promise, Seely. Like a dreamy flashback, the clump of charred rosemary was instantly restored to its original beauty and delicacy. The green stems propped up the little girl's body, and the mauve petals softly stroked her skin. The embers ebbed away upon contact of the petals, like a canoe being pushed back by the tide. It's their memory and eternal sanctuary. Nothing could hurt her anymore, the man thought so with relief. Howl. A terrible growl echoed through the rain. A giant twisted figure came to be made out in the distance. He began to run towards it resolutely. Wait for me, Joffrey! Die a human, live on a human. The boy's memory was hazy and fragmented. He only remembered he had a dream after he woke up. A horrible dream in which he was no longer a boy, but a big, ugly monster. His mouth had tasted blood, and his claws ripped open what felt like human flesh. His eyes could only see red. He felt relieved waking up from the nightmare. For one instant, he thought he'd be trapped in that monster forever. But still, his bloody body felt different. He lifted his hand and checked. Even though covered in mud and dirt, these big hands obviously belonged to a grown man. What happened to me? He now found his voice wrong too. It was a deep and familiar voice that he seemed to have heard every day. He panicked and got up to his feet. Amidst the fire and wreckages, what on earth happened to him? He stood still in his living hell and laboriously searched his memory. At last he thought of something important and began to sprint towards what was left of the church, all that was quietly taken in by the eyes of the sorceress. She was gently nipping a delicate flower with a soft blue glow. The glow kept flickering in the rain as if singing the floriograph of the rosemary. Yeah, listen here. I feel like there's a certain level of intelligence that needs to be had when partaking in this. I don't have intelligence to offer. There's not much intelligence going on. Jesus Christ. What an experience. I don't know. What? This is not the vibe. Boys, this is not the vibe right now. Okay, one second. So the Captain verse stories have you okay. So the Captain verse stories, are they all always centered around Fallen Rosemary, right? Is that the case, or is that just for this specific story that it's the case, right? Because someone said the Captainverse stories are kind of centered around this whole, like, remembrance transfer thingy where you go into different people's bodies in different, like, eras or whatever, or different places. to like find this her woman. So is just for the specific one, okay. So how is that concept then transferred into other events? Mostly around Kong Ming. Oh, I don't know this Kong Ming then. Okay, fair enough. I don't know who the fuck Kong Ming is. I guess that's the go right now. Ai-chan is level 6. To be quite frank, I'll do that stuff maybe later or tomorrow. Kong Ming is Starlit Astrologos. Oh, who is that? Isn't that one of the Teresas? I'm just how okay, fair enough. I feel okay, here's the thing, I will say this. I think a lot of my confusion comes from the fact that I'm now joining this as my first event for the Captain Verse and not having any pre-established knowledge of the original ones and how they were like structured. So I think my confusion is 100% justified here. No one's gonna tell me otherwise. My confusion is justified. This is the first one and I have no idea what's going on. I'm actually gonna do my task now then, I guess. Because we're doing Elysian Realm, I think. We're gonna try to do Abstinence Elysian Realm after this. Abstinence Elysian Realm. We're looking for XP. There's that one. You're true. Also, the events are not in chronological order. You'll piece them together as you experience the other Captain Verse stories. Fair cop then. You can, yeah. I think that's what I'll do. As the events get like rerun, I'll just like re-experience the story, or rather, not re-experience, but experience it in general. Yo, can I get some XP? No, it just doesn't even have anything. There it is. Yeah, I feel like I've been scammed. You can watch the Teresa theme day, the day you vanish from the star, and vibing for a bit. Oh no, we're just gonna jump into some Elysian Realm, dude. I need to do Abstinence Elysian Realm. That's getting done. We're gonna actually try hard, mega try hard the Elysian Realm, and try to do an abstinence run to try to get some rolls. That's what we're doing. It's Hoyoverses Multiverse. It's all a bit quantum theory. Yeah, listen, it's the only game that I know that's ever tried to introduce quantum theory. Try to introduce quantum theory into your video game. Never seen that done before, but fair enough. Let's go do this boss first. Manga. Well, all the mangas will be read after patch 5.8. Did you watch Mobius lab animation? Actually, good reminder. Thanks, Wee. That's what we'll watch before we continue with Elysian Realm, I guess. Not that we're doing the story, but we will watch the Mobius lab animation, I guess, because I did say I was gonna watch it. Have you completed Fu Chronicle? I'm not sure. I haven't done most of the Chronicles on stream, to be quite honest. I have not done a lot of them on stream. I think I did Bronya's off stream. I did like... actually, I did most of the Chronicles off stream, so I'm not sure. Where is this mecha trial taking me? What the fuck is this? Oh, is this taking me to the other place? Oh. Fruit Chronicles can only be played at level 65. If that's the case, then I have it, no. Oh, what is happening here? Actually, do I get XP for killing all these guys? No, I don't. Just get box parts that no one needs.
You should do Fu 1 on stream. There's quite a lot of lore in there, plus it's voice acted. Yeah, okay, sure. I did Callan's last night. I did the Callan one last night. That feels pretty useless or, like, not important. Yeah, I did Callan's and it did not feel like it had any weight to it. I don't know, maybe it's just me. But yeah, I didn't really fucking get what that was about. I say Callan, I mean the Callan fantasy thingy. Save the Fu one for stream, alright. Alright, we'll be done. It will be done, boys. The Fu will be saved for stream. If he can reach level 65 fast, well, it doesn't matter if I reach it fast or not. It's just when I reach it, I won't do it until I do it on stream. There's nothing about speed here. We'll reach 65 whenever we reach 65. We're very close to 64 right now, I think. So, it's only in due time. Callan kind of pointless at this point. All her battle suits are relevant meta-wise. It does feel like that. Well, she have 3 of them. She has like a Ritual and Mayo, Sundengunda, and then that other one with the mask. Yeah, I don't really know what the point of Callan is, but I'm not gonna like. I don't want to do this thing. I want to do my daily tasks and that's it. I fucking hate this open world. I want it to be known that I really hate this open world. With like a passion. It's like with a very deep passion do I hate this open world. Yeah, it's very odd what Callan is. It's very odd. It's very odd. Bum ba-dum ba-bum bum ba-dum. Wait, where am I going? I have to go back up. When I do AFO, it's because I have to do these ones for the quests and the story. There's a story thing that I have to do and get here. That's why. That's why I'm doing it. Just to get it done, you know. Zombie Porge. I just wish the rest 2 Callan Battle Suit would be available now so I can enjoy the different gameplay they'll give. Wait, isn't... Wait, how many... Wait, I thought 2 of them were available there. So, oh no, Sunden Jaeger isn't available in Eon? I thought it was. To be quite frank, I don't really have any reason to believe that. Okay, I thought it was, but fair enough. Only in Mayo, that's honestly fair enough, I don't know. The character has no relevance, I don't see if, yeah. Well, I guess someone did say, isn't, what's her name? Fervent Tempo being added to Elysian Realm? Isn't that a thing? Fervent Tempo is being added, and she's like pretty old right now. So I guess they're adding old characters slowly but surely. Nice distance. There we go. Next match, yeah, okay. Not that I have the character, and not that's gonna affect me in any way, but that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Next thing, we can do this actually. Go there, tracking that, takes us to the middle arena, we kill our boss, we get a bunch of XP. Da-dun, da-dun, da-dun. At this point, you know what Honkai actually gives me the vibes of? At this point in the game's life, you could actually just say to yourself that I want to play this game just to get the characters to then use them in Elysian Realm. You don't even have to get the characters and then do the story. There is content enough, in my opinion, in Elysian Realm and just kind of the endgame stuff that you could literally say to yourself, I'm going to play this game, get the characters, and just have fun in Elysian Realm. I like that. That is like something that you can do. Because the gameplay changes so much from the base game with some of the characters. Where does this... Reach level 10 to unlock the interface. Wait, what? Oh. I guess I can just leave then. We're talking about old Callan battlesuits precedes all the ER playables. Yeah, that makes sense. But like Fervent Tempo is definitely nowhere near the release of ER. So it just means that they're adding old battlesuits slowly, which like is power to them, you know. There we go, level 7. What are you? Core explosions remaining. Honestly, it does not fucking matter what I take. Yeah, I think it's just good that they're adding more, to be quite frank with you. Constantly expanding the game. And this is what we're trying to do. Activity open world. Shixel HQ. That thing. Universal Mirage 5 times. Boys, it's time to gacha her a bit more. They buff her for some reason. Well, why comment they buff her? They buffed her because it's Kiana, dude. You can't not have Kiana be the strongest character in the game. Or you've got a very cringe game, you know? We need Kiana being powerful. Oh, imagine if we got another 3. That would have been Pog. Nice. Okay. We're gonna do an Elysian run, boys. Time to actually try hard. And by try hard, I mean we're gonna be playing Aponia again, because she's very strong. And that is all. Okay. Get out of chapter 2. Actually, no, I guess we can stay in chapter 2 because we're done with it. Abstinence 2.25 gets us the next gem reward, which is actually Pog. Oh yes, Mobius lab animation. True, I keep on forgetting about that. True. Alright, that's that thing first. Mobius lab animation. I actually just have it in memory. Imagine all 3 is starter of Kiana Main, Bronya Battlesuit, and EI. I really want to see how they're going to change the gameplay. They'd probably just like heavily enhance, like, and that's obviously very obvious of a word used to use, enhance it. But they'd probably like, oh, the thing is you'd have to rework the whole. Wait, would you? They all of them are very dry in terms of like actual button presses. Mobius Lab, and is it animation? Yeah, okay. They're all very dry in terms of actually pressing a button, and so they'd have to like literally just change the attack sequence and add a lot more combinations to it. I'm assuming it's the top one here. I'm assuming it's the top one. Mobius Lab animation. Alright, volume. How you got? How you going, buddy? Alright, Mobius Lab animation, boys. We're watching this because of Elysian Realm Chapter 2 ending, so, and more backstory on Mobius, I guess.
啊，弹珠迟到了，今天要请所有人喝奶茶。
怎么这样？我只迟到了1分钟啊！
这可是梅比乌斯博士定的规矩，不守时的人就要受到惩罚。
绝对只是因为他爱喝奶茶而已吧？
如果你能早起10分钟，就不至于这么慌慌张张没吃早饭，连头发都没梳，最后还是迟到了。
那你倒是叫我起床啊！等等，克莱因师姐是不是还没来？ 我不是最后一个。
That's actually pretty
这
funny.
不可能。克莱因师姐一向都是来的最早的。
I just noticed she's just behind the paper.
密室杀人？
呸！乌鸦嘴！师姐这不是还在说梦话吗？
Klein.
好，今天下班前给你。糟糕，我睡着了。
诈尸了！
现在几点？什么？已经8点了。
哎呀！
给博士的论文参考文献目录还没整理完，上次的实验数据统计分析也才做到一半，还有下午的会议资料要准备。
不是我说啊，克莱因师姐每天的工作是不是太多了点？
还要再加上丹珠搞砸了交给克莱因师姐返工的部分。
背景音好吵，我听不到。
I want to say why do I feel like Nuwa or just this model here is very much kind of based on Hu Tao is based on this model. I was about to say it the other way around. I just kind of get the same vibe in terms of the red one here. Just her and Hu Tao from Genshin are like very similar. So I think maybe Hu Tao is based on this character in some way. There's a very, very distinct similarity in my mind. I don't know why. Oh, Klein. Klein.
没事，我还能。
Someone give this lady a fucking break.
克莱因，克莱因，你在吗？
不是，
Mobius,
抱
what's up?
歉，会议资料还需要点时间。
嗯，那种会议无所谓了。克莱因，我的衣服被酒精灯烧了一个洞，
The Bunsen burner.
你来给我补补嘛。
这应该不是实验室助手的工作范畴，而且换件新的不就好了吗？
嗯，倒是也可以了。不过我喜欢这件，
烧这么大洞，补起来很麻烦的。
可是我喜欢这件。
Come on,
好了
Klein.
了，我知道了。
Come
好
on.
耶！我要蛇蛇图案的。
哦，
梅比乌斯博士太过分了，怎么能因为师姐人好就这么欺负师姐呢？
轮不到你来说吧。我听师姐说过，这些工作不是博士硬塞给她，都是她自愿接下来的。
不会吧？正经人谁加班啊？你加班吗？
我不讲。
师姐是不是被博士抓住了什么把柄？比如上学时候的中二发言啊，团建上的羞耻照片啊之类的。
那是你吧？
看来接下来得好好观察一下。
博士，这是今天下午的会议资料。博士，跟你说过多少次了，不要吃这种没有营养的垃圾食品。食堂里有营养餐，只要加热一下就好，很方便的。
What? Bro,
不是，
why is
下午
Mobius
的
like
会
this?
议马上就要开始了。
I don't know which version of Mobius I like.
我才不要去！
博士，这是梅博士主持的烛火之季度科研成果汇报会，缺席的实验室可是会被削减下季度预算的。
啊，不去的话好像确实
I
会
don't know
有
which
点麻
version of
烦。
Mobius I like.
你能理解比什么都好，我会把这些东西替你整理好。
克莱因，搞定。好了，去开会吧，梅比乌斯。
恕我直言，这个玩笑一点都不
No,
好
it's
笑。
quite funny.
因为是梅比乌斯，所以他们会理解的。快去吧，别让梅博士等久了。
梅比乌斯博士，希望您尊重一下大家的视力和智商。
不要叫我梅比乌斯，现在要叫我克莱因，显得真实一些。
博士，再怎么说这也太……
我说啊，克莱因，
什么？
那种会一点儿也不好玩，大家都用看怪物的眼神看着我，在背地里说我是恶魔。
这不是你自己种下的恶果吗？
话是这么说啦，但坐在那群人中间，就让我浑身不适，更别提每次都要因为我们实验室的成果太过优秀，被他们用嫉妒的眼神 冰到几乎要刺穿。唉，人类这种存在形式，真是弱小又不稳定，总是被情绪左右，至死都无法触及真理。那种会意，根本没有任何价值。克莱因的话，一定能明白我的难处的，
Yes.
对吧？克莱
Yes.
因。
Mobius,
只不过
yes.
是不想去开会而已，不必上升到哲学高度吧。唉，我知道了，我替你去就是了。
他们在干什么？我们
Of
是
course
不是
they're watching!
阻止他们？
Of course they're watching!
在干什么我不知道，
Of course.
但可以肯定，我们现在出去100%会被灭口。
Oh, there's Mobius's little
悄
machine.
悄溜走吧。
There's the machine thingy. I don't know what it is, but the machine's there.
博士，刚才的会议上，唉，怎么又在这种地方睡着了？
Oh, Klein.
姐，
这是给你的慰问品，是奶茶。
Nice.
太好了，有了这个，还能再努力工作一会儿。
师姐还要继续工作吗？稍微偷懒，我是说休息一下也可以的。
要做的事还有很多，我还不能休息。克莱因师姐，为什么要留在梅比乌斯实验室呢？啊？永远做不完的工作，看不懂意义何在的研究，还要随时面对梅比乌斯博士的各种突发奇想。师姐知道的吧？我们实验室被同事们称为恶魔之巢。
Oh
梅
no.
比乌斯博士也被叫做恶魔、毒蛇之类的，而在外面，烛火之蛾更是被民众评价为万恶之源，丧尽天良，令人发指。我们真的在做正确的事吗？
Oh, this is
他们
like
说的没错，烛火之蛾正在进行的研究，
this is very
的
intense.
确有很多是不可原谅的吧。
Mm.
但在这样的末世中，还能有这么一群人抱有顽强的斗志，做着前进的努力，对我来说，这就足够给予我希望了。我只有不停工作，才能忘记对崩坏的恐惧，体会活着的实感。但梅比乌斯博士不一样，他从一开始就在看着更深远、更根本的东西。我想象不出博士眼中的世界是什么样的。
I can't take my eyes off Mobius. I'm kind of covering her eye. I do apologize.
他只对认定的东西格外执着，对自己的目标没有丝毫踌躇。为了更进一步，连自身都可以舍弃。他是纯粹的存在，纯粹的探求者，纯粹的恶。但也许，正因为是在末世之中，这样的恶才是可以存在的吧。
就算你这么说，我们还是没办法理解呀。
博士并不想要理解者，他想要的只有答案。不过，博士有时候确实会给人一些奇奇怪怪的工作，真是令人头疼。
Oh,
博士喜欢
Klein
小
is the
动物，
best.
但所有动物见了他都会逃
Klein is the
跑。
best.
他就让我去喂猫、喂狗、喂兔子，直播给他看。
Oh,
小动物，你说的这是博士？
that's adorable, actually.
博士酒量很差，但又拒绝不了投资方的酒会，每次喝得醉醺醺的，都要我把他背回来。他总是又唱又跳，还要跟我划拳。又唱又跳，梅比乌斯博士。他还总喜欢在我最忙的时候出现，缠着我，让我陪他用函数在坐标系上画小动物。
他只是单纯的喜欢看你对他无可奈何的样子吧？
能明白，能明白。研究进展不顺的时候，他就让我去给他买泡泡纸，然后一个人坐在沙发上捏一天。喂，丹珠，我总觉得再这么听下去，我们就很难活得过明天了。
是吗？我还想再多听听呢。
听什么听啊？知道的越多越危险啊！
Kind of adorable, actually.
是梦啊。 发生过这样的事，我都不记得了。不但身体退化了，记忆也会变得暧昧吗？我还剩下几次机会呢？
梅比乌斯博士，这是上周的实验数据统计分析。
知道了，做完图表给我吧。克莱，放在那边就行。
Wait,
博
is
士，
this after?
怎么了？
打起精神来嘛！啊，对了，我买奶茶给你喝。
我不喜欢那种东西。
哎，可是以前都……弹珠，笨蛋，你怎么还不明白？
还有别的事吗？
那个，梅博士说，要对千人律者的名单和遗体进行对照复核。他让我们实验室也去一下，毕竟克莱因师姐也……
你们两个去就好了。
可是博士，这是师姐的最后一面了，至少
人死了之后，就什么都没了呀。
这里不对，这样也不对。
Jesus.
喂，泡泡纸还有剩吗？
Oh, alright, dude. Alright, Jesus. This game literally needs Jesus at this point. Oh my God.
算了，这
Damn.
个时间食堂应该还开着的吧？虽然那里没有人想看到我就是了。
博士，这是苏医生送来的资料。
知道了，我之后会看的。
博士，梅博士说明天早上9点要开个简会，讨论下一位律者的应对方向。
告诉他我会准时参加。
博士，艾莉西亚邀请你去参加一个舞会。
直接去了。
Whoa, what is happening? Disassociation?
博士，
这次又是什么事？
我在克莱因师姐的遗物里发现了这个，是师姐亲手缝的蛇布偶，上面还有生日贺卡，应该是给博士准备的生日礼物。
净做些多余的事。
情绪、性格、思想、意志，新的生命形式，不灭的永恒，亘古的无限。人类的未来应该有更广阔的方向。
欢迎来到这个世界，克莱因。
你是谁？
我是梅比乌斯，你可以叫我博士，也可以直接叫我梅比乌斯，挑你喜欢的就行。这个世界，大概是快不行了。不过那种事无所谓了，你不需要在意。我希望你能自由地活着，遵照你自己的意志。你是自由的生命，自由的思想，自由的克莱因。书写你自己的故事吧，这是我对你的祝福。
哇，这是什么？该不会是……
新的人工生命体。
博士，制造这种东西，被发现的话，绝对会很不妙的吧？
管他呢。
小小只的好可爱，而且跟师姐长得一模一样。我也想要，博
博士，给我做一个好不好？我要长得跟苍玄一样的。想要的话自己去做。
博士，就算做这种事，世界也回不来了。
我知道，克莱因并不是他，而是具备独立思考能力的新生个体，只不过借鉴了他的外表。已逝之人，就让他留在记忆中吧。
工作，有什么工作要交给我的吗？
啊，你说什么？
博士，你刚刚说只借鉴了外表。
毕竟是以他为原型做的，所以姑且把加班狂的部分作为底层设定输入进去了。
博士，工作哪里有工作？丹珠，不要在走廊上跑。
一份曾经的存在，催生出了新的生命，而他又将以这份存在为基石，在这个世界上继续前行。这或许就是人类称之为进化的旅途。这又未尝不是一种答案呢，克莱因。再见了，我的理解者。
Nice. Nice. Cool. Well, get a bit more insight into Mobius. That was very adorable. But like, now my only question is like, when is that? Because I thought she remade Klein in the Elysian Realm. Or was that before and then it just transfers into the Elysian Realm? I don't know. That was adorable. A bit more insight into Mobius's general personality, eh? Just general insight. Or tendencies. I don't really know what to take away from that, to be quite frank with you. Just Mobius being Mobius, and she has a bit of a sad backstory. It still doesn't explain why she's crazy right now, though. Still doesn't explain that kind of. Maybe, okay, it explains it a bit, but not too much. It's like, when was the original Klein... Oh, sorry, when did the original Klein yeeted out of existence? And then when was the new one made in relation to the Elysian Realm? The real Klein in ER is this one. Okay. So then, yeah, it was just... I see, yeah. I think it's the whole, putting a copy of yourself into the Elysian Realm. Okay, that makes sense then. For the most part. I say for the most part because, like... I feel like there's some loophole somewhere, but yeah, for the most part, I get what's happening. I hear you loud and clear, boys. Don't worry about it. I hear you loud and clear. Alright, abstinence run. Who's ready for an abstinence run? And by this, I mean, essentially, if we get shafted in any roles, we're gonna have to restart. So, I don't think Lightning Empress is the choice. Or maybe it is. Maybe it is. Maybe this one. 60% damage dealt. I lose some HP. I'm already using Fu. Listen, I'm actually comfortable with Lightning Empress. Let's just start it up. Abstinence. Ellie's good. Abstinence. 60 SP is pretty focused. It's good early days. Early run. It's really good. After that, it kind of loses a bit of value. We need shelter first, and then admonition. Thank you. Admonition. 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 I want to get Kevin first. Honestly, that right there is enough to just restart on door 1, but we'll keep it in mind. We'll just keep on going. I kept it until the end usually. Oh, I don't change anything usually in my runs. I can't be asked to kind of go to that detail just yet. But, like, it loses value. That's what I mean. It's like, the 60 SP that you gain, or the 50 SP that you gain, is not that important at the end game. in like just as a general thing of SP requirement, because you'll usually have a few Eden tags. You usually have a few of them. Yeah, she's I think Eden in, oh sorry, not Eden. Yeah, for Aponia you go for the Eden things. Or even if you just get full of her Alicia stuff, you'll generally have a lot of SP in general. Dun, 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 dun. Fair enough. If you're focusing in full out Kevin, then it's quite important. Maybe. Depends on how many things you can get. Depends on how you roll the cards. If you're lucky, then it doesn't matter. Maybe if you're unlucky, it does matter. Bum ba bum ba ba bum bum ba ba bum bum ba bum ba ba bum bum. Imashime. $89,000. Elemental Breach, I guess. Now we need a Kevin right here. Boom. Kevin to the left. Nope, not taking either of those two. Honestly, this feels like a restart right now. I can't be asked to restart, to be absolutely honest with you. I'd restart, but I can't be honest. I just can't be. This run will work. Don't worry about it, boys. This run will work. I have full confidence that something will happen. Maybe. Dun, 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 dun. There we go. Dun, 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 dun. Yes, yes, Sakura, thank you. I feel like I'm getting scammed. I genuinely feel like I've been scammed. Oh, doesn't matter. We'll do it. It'll happen. Two, one, one, two, two, three, one, four. That no. Bro, I'm one coin away. Fair enough. I guess we get an Eden Nexus. Hopefully get something good. We'll get the bottom one for SP consumption. Damage after the burst. It'll be good. If you don't mind sharing, what video games that define your childhood? Yeah, I don't mind. Childhood. It's a great question as to what childhood is really, dude. I'm assuming my youth, my days as a like 7 to 10-year-old, maybe even like 15. It's a good one. I don't even remember back. I played mainly on consoles back in the day. I was a console peasant. I do apologize that I had to be that way. It would actually just be single-player games. I didn't really play oh, well, that's actually a lie. That's actually a lie. That's a great question. So on console, when I was being a peasant and just not being good, I played Assassin's Creed a lot. I played a lot of single-player Ubisoft games were good. I played Call of Duties like every child. I played I played Battlefields like every person. I played Wii Sports a lot. Defined my childhood though. Probably World of Warcraft, to be absolutely honest. That sounds like a meme answer, but it's pretty much the truth. As much as I don't want to say it, it's probably World of Warcraft. I played that pretty much from when I was 9 years old. No, I started in 2000 and... When did I start? 2009 or when I was 9? One of the two. I started when I was 9 years old, essentially. And have been playing it as essentially from that, which was 2009, let's say, till about 2020, when the game became dog shit. And here we are. So I'd say that game defines my childhood. Other than that, it's probably like single-player Ubisoft games back in the day on console. And I'm definitely not proud to say that I like or I played WoW, because it was never really that great of a game. World of Warcraft is never that good of a game, or it was okay, but you know, could be better. What other games did I play? I don't really know. Like, because here's the thing, the reason I can't remember that well is literally because for the last 2 years, I've only been playing Genshin Impact consistently, and that's not healthy. And so I just can't, like, most other games have been just phased out of my mind. The thing is as well, is I play every game. There's, like, not a genre of video game that I don't like. I like video games as, like, a broad concept. So I pretty much play every single one that I can. I think, in terms of the genre, what genre do I not play? Probably visual novels, right? I don't play visual novels, and that's probably evident with how much I don't want to do the like Honkai ones. Visual novels are pure reading, and I've got nothing against pure reading, but some amount of gameplay does go a long way. But other than that, like, even then I would still play a visual novel, so I don't know. That's the problem when you're playing every genre of game, is that you just don't know what your main genre is, or what genre you like the most. Oh, can I please get this in time? I think I should be able to get this in time. Please! Oh my god, thank god we got the bonus still. Did we? Did we get the bonus? Yes, we did. Thank god. Yes. Perfectly fine. Most of my friends play WoW back in their childhood, and they grew up with it. Yeah, the thing is, that is true. It's hard to not play WoW because it was such a massive thing. If you had any amount of a PC, you probably tried to play it. But because I also, like, went hard on it in the past few years of it, like, sorry, in its last 3 expansions, I kind of did play it pretty heavily. I don't regret playing the game. I definitely don't want to say that, but, listen, the experiences could have been better. I think we're going to go for this one. The experience playing WoW could have been better in the past few years. Yeah, visual novels. That's the only one that I'm probably, like, less inclined to play willingly. Every other genre of game, I'll probably play it willingly in some way. But visual novels, I just can't get behind to do it, to inflict that to myself. Because I'm like, this is just going to be pure reading. And if I don't understand and just read the words instead of understanding the words, I'm not going to know what's happening. The thing I can remember in my childhood I really like playing is Koei Warriors series, Samurai Warriors, and Dynasty Warriors, and those make me want to learn more about Japanese and Chinese culture. Yeah, that's a good point. There are a lot of games, well, yeah, I guess there were some video games that, like, let's say back on the PlayStation 2, that made me want to, like, get into specific genres. For example, if you've ever played the old Lord of the Rings video games on the PS2, those were very good. For PlayStation 2 games, those were extremely well-made video games, and they're kind of the games that got me into the fantasy genre. Playing as Legolas, Aragorn, Gimli, and the gameplay actually feeling really well, or feeling really good. I guess those were like pretty impactful. But yeah, they're like, because they're not replayable, because I usually try to replay some of the very old games that I played back in my childhood sometimes. For example, I played Soul Reaver 2 as a kid. I played it a bit, I didn't finish it really, but I played Soul Reaver 2 as a kid. And if you've ever played Soul Reaver, it's like a very old and kind of not technically shit game, but it's an old and very up and down game. And I tried to replay that as a person with a cognitive mind, instead of just being a child. That is a tough game to replay as a person who can think straight, right? It's really tough to play that. And in general, playing super old games is hard to replay if you have a cognitive mind and you like kind of min-maxing and becoming really good at things. Because back in the day, becoming good didn't mean min-maxing, it meant just in general understanding. That's probably why I really like combo-based hack and slash games. That is true. That, like, obviously I think everyone's played at least one Devil May Cry. It's almost impossible to avoid Devil May Cry. I'm gonna say that right now. It's very hard to avoid that game genre, or that game in general. And I will agree that they are very fun. Well, I remember playing. Well, I guess you know what. Here's the thing. I was a massive fan of the Jak and Daxter trilogy. The Jak and Daxter trilogy was probably one of my favorite, like that type of game. Like, it's comparable to games like Ratchet and Clank and Spyro and Crash Bandicoot. I really enjoyed Jak and Daxter. And I remember playing it originally on the PS2. I think it was Jak and Daxter 2. And then remember getting a PS3 and playing Jak and Daxter 3. And then it was buying the remastered versions of them and playing them all again, which was absolutely enjoyable. Oh, but you know what? Here's the thing. The biggest one for me, the absolutely biggest game that I got into very much, is the whole Assassin's Creed series. Essentially, from maybe not the initial release of Assassin's Creed, but almost roughly around the same time, when the first Assassin's Creed was released, that's when I got into Assassin's Creed. Oh, I need to go for the left one, but we're going to go for the middle. When I got into Assassin's Creed, I played all of them. Assassin's Creed 1, great game. I didn't finish it because it was too hard for my age. I was like fucking 3 years old. Maybe not actually 3 years. I was young though. Got into Assassin's Creed 2, played it. Brotherhood is like one of the best games like out there in terms of just being good. Like Revelations was great. Assassin's Creed 3 kind of falls down, then Unity comes out, it's amazing. Syndicate kind of goes away. Then from Syndicate it goes into... Oh, did I miss one? No, I don't think. From Syndicate it goes into then Origins, with that, then it just completely shifts into like a combat game, and that's when I essentially stopped playing. Assassin's Creed, that's my childhood right there. Assassin's Creed. Stealth games, actually, just stealth games in general. Let's summarize it to that. I'm a stealth games kind of guy. Let's buy this. Because then we can go for another food, and then let's go buy... Maybe we can get like a Bodhi on the next double. Actually, the double is next, so I guess we'll go with Kevin. Hopefully get it. Because I remember replaying the old Thieves as well, with a cognitive mind. Even... But that's the thing. Some old games are great examples of good games, even if they're old. Because the old Thief series, if you've ever played those, essentially it's like playing Dishonored, but just slightly a bit more, maybe refined to actual stealth. Actually, bear in mind, I haven't played Dishonored, so I won't say that much. Just too good. Stealth games, that's where I'm at. Stealth games. Our damage is really low. We probably won't get the double here. We're not even up to the last two, and we're already at half our time. RIP. But I think still that still gives us Nexus. RIP our damage. Honestly, I think the run was a whole reset even when we didn't get Kevin on door 1, so... We didn't get Kevin door 1, should have reset it immediately. Well, actually, we might still get it. 20 seconds is quite a lot of time. Chuck one of these bad boys in for a bit of bonus damage. Yeah, no, we don't get it. Assassin's Creed series now are way off their main franchise. We ain't even Assassins anymore. Absolutely, that's the main reason why I stopped playing it. The day it stopped being Assassin's Creed was roughly after Assassin's Creed Syndicate. That's when the game stopped being Assassin's Creed, and that no one can convince me otherwise. I guess we go for that one. Yeah. Okay, I understand that they still try to tie the assassin concept into it, but it's not the same. Just saying you're an assassin, but having the option to just go into full combat with swords and shields and spears doesn't feel the same. It's just not it. Like, because if you look back to it, the old Assassin's Creeds, like Brotherhood, Revelations, they did have combat options, but your combat just felt so bad that you would never do it because it just felt like shit. Now, the combat feels like you're playing an action RPG, or like you're playing Breath of the Wild essentially, with how like refined the combat is and whatnot. And it's like, why is this a thing in a stealth game? Like, we are playing literally stealth man mode, like Mega Man stealth shit. It's like, why do I have the option to just like charge headfirst into like a crowd of people and combat them? Doesn't make sense. And that's why the game has lost a lot of popularity. I think it's because they've moved away from their main focus. Even though it is still quite a popular game, it still makes a lot of money. Like, I'm 90% sure Assassin's Creed Valhalla still made a lot of money. So, it doesn't really matter. Like, if I think the game is dying, it's not really. It's still making many, many monies and will continue to make money. Because it's also moving to a live service thing. Like, they're changing Assassin's Creed. I think the new one is being a live service game. Which it doesn't sound that great, but what are you gonna do? If there's ways to make money, people will find it. Game design has moved away from making a game for the purpose of making a game. It's now being done as a way to make money. Is like fundamentally opposed to how games were made. Like, if you look at how games were made back in the day, back in the day were made for the sole purpose of creating a video game that you can play and enjoy. Now, games are made for the sole purpose of making money. And hey, I've got nothing against that. If you want to try to make some money, go for it. But also try to make something good, like a quality game. And this Ubisoft just milking the franchise name? Absolutely, that is 100% like the raw definition of it. Ubisoft just milking the cow, dude. It's true. Just milking it dry. But to be quite frank, it was milked a long time ago. And that's what they haven't learned. It was milked, like, with Assassin's Creed Syndicate. That's when it was milked. But now they just keep... The cow is dried up. Doesn't feel good. It's just annoying. Just annoying to my brain. This run is going terribly. 5.8 live stream is tomorrow. Let's go. Oh. Cool, cool, cool. I probably won't watch that, to be quite frank with you. I don't know when it happens, so I don't know if I'll watch it. But I'll react to it on stream if it happens, if it's like already uploaded to YouTube. Oh, that's a tough one. What do I choose here? Yeah, I'll react to it on YouTube once it's up there. That doesn't boost damage in any way, but I need damage right now desperately. But Final Echo is not a bad thing. SP, though? I don't need SP. Maybe go for Bodhi here. Who are the doors? What are the doors here? So, oh, we have one reset. Let me see this. What's the reset? I know I could go for Mobius, but I'm not gonna. Alicia. Oh, Alicia, you fucker. Fuck you, Alicia. Oh, you fucked everything. Let's go with that, because that kind of... I just wasted probably money, but it doesn't matter. Take the total damage? The total damage to what? Who's total damage? Did I miss some total damage? Oh, shit. I maybe didn't see it. Fuck. Okay. I missed some total damage. It doesn't matter. We'll win. Look at this damage right here. The enemies are dying. It's fine. Well, it's all about the positive vibes, dude. I definitely haven't made any mistakes. On God, I never make mistakes. I hope so. It's all good, dude. It's all good. I foresaw this outcome. Don't worry about it. I literally foresaw that I would make the wrong decision, and I am now counteracting my decision. And that is not a lie. You can trust me on that one. I would never lie to you guys. I would never. Oh, I don't know. Yeah. I think we still go for him. To be quite frank, this probably was a bad choice. I don't think I have that many buffs that I can get for him. RIP this run. RIP this run, boys. I think I've gotten all of his buffs. Doesn't matter. We're good. It'll all work out. It'll all work out. Hey, what's up, King? Welcome to the stream, man. How has your day been? Actually, no, we still have one more Kevin buff that we can get, hopefully. Oh my god, this Nihilist seat has too much HP. Jesus Christ, what is this? Bro, this Nihilist... Yo? The fuck is this? I've never encountered this bad boy before. Yeah, that damage is so bad. Missed my chance to help you understand what exactly is going on in Rosemary's Floriograph event. Don't worry about it, shit. We pretty much got a general gist about it. We got a general idea. It's going to be confusing regardless of if you explain it, because I still don't have a context on all the other events, but for the most part we came to a nice conclusion. I say conclusion, a bit more like we just came to the idea that it's a confusing topic if you just don't have pre-existing context on the event, or on the other events as well, and how they tie into everything. So not really much you can do about it, you know. I think the day when gaming industry become mainstream, like 15 years ago, is the day when the big gaming company become greedy. Yeah, I can see what you're saying. I wouldn't say it happened exactly 15 years ago, but I see what you mean. Like, it's just that once the world saw that there is a potential for money making from video games, because prior to that, people were like, yeah, no, you can't make money from making video games, it's kind of a hobby thing. But then once you accept that you actually can make a lot of money from video games, like an extreme amount of money, everyone's jumping on the whole bandwagon to make a video game, even though they're not actually, like, they don't have the physical or mental, like, ability, they don't know how to create it. And that's when the problems start to rise up. Is that people with absolutely no idea on video games start making video games. Doesn't quite work out, to be absolutely honest with you. Doesn't work out. Reckless Solana's 5.8, fair cop. Good luck to him for watching it. Long story short, Captain is traveling between worlds and bringing waifus on board his ship. And that's the general gist I got, just from the slight summary that I got from a few people. And that's fair enough, but obviously a little bit more context is given in certain things. But that is the general gist that I did get. MC, waifu hunter, interdimensional waifu hunter. That's what I'm rocking with. Interdimensional waifu hunter. This is interesting statistic from US. Largest demographic of gamers are 35 years or above. That's probably true. I wouldn't doubt that in any way. Rather, you're not even doubting it. You say it's interesting. It's interesting, but also I can see that it's true. I can see that it's true. Yeah, I can see that it's 100% true. Because, yeah, obviously 35-year-olds are kind of in that I have money range, but it's also, we're going to do another run. That run was terrible. I think if we get Kevin early on, we can get a lot more stuff. We missed a lot of bonuses, and we used our money poorly, so that was all on me. Sorry, where was I? 35-year-olds, and there's also, these 35-year-olds around the 30 to 35 range were also young, like at least my age, right? I'm not gonna say our because I don't know everyone's age here, but they were roughly my age, which is about 18 to 25 when games started to become really big, right? They were that age when gaming started to become really, really massive. Which is, oh, I just chose the wrong one, fuck. Oh, I just chose the wrong one, shit. I didn't read it right. Ah, rip. That's an RIP. I guess we're restarting. I'm not doing it without getting Kevin on the first door. Would you go... the rise of smaller companies that actually made good game took a toll on the bug companies? Exactly, yeah. You look at a game like, what was it called? Valheim? That was made by like 4 or 5 people or something like that. 7 people. That immediately took a toll on the big companies because it made it seem like indie developers can make better games than AAA companies, which is true on the surface. So yeah, 100%. Would you guys consider Caniverse canon? Though he is relevant to the main story, he still exists in the Sea of Quanta of the main story. My thing on that? Good question, Hui. That is a great question. I would say that his existence is canonical, but his impact on the world is not. So it's like, does Kevin not exist? I guess I'll go for Eden because that's a fine option, but Jesus Christ, just give me Kevin Door 1. It's kind of hard to do it because they can be just included in the story at any point, but I'd say because he has no impact on the actual, game's campaign, essentially, I would say that he isn't canon,
but he can be made canon at any point. I'd say that's how I at least view it. That's my current view. He's not technically canon, but can be made canon whenever they so choose. Or the canon verse, rather. Or the Captain verse, sorry. If Captain can bring in Gorgeous Rita, Kongming, Hacksaw Bunny, and Asuka from Eva on board Hyperion, it's canon in my eyes. That's actually a fair cop, Ferrari. If he can just give me all those characters right now, I'll accept him as canon. If I can just receive those characters as playable right this second, I'll accept them as playable. Eden or the other one? I guess we'll just stack Eden for now, I don't know. Stack it up. Because to me, the canon stuff for this game is Kiana. Anything involving Kiana and the main cast of characters, that is the canon stuff. Anything else I would count as a side story, but because the Captain exists in some way with the same characters in the same world, sure, there is a potential, but till the moment they interact or have some sort of impact on each other, I would say it's still kind of leading towards not being canon. I also do apologize if I sound overly analytical sometimes and wordy. I've just, like, in the recent few weeks, or, like, in a week and a half, I've been the jury on a court case, and I've had to be very analytical, so it's like... I sound very posh sometimes. Very posh. We get the double on Kevin, but we'll be able to clear this floor. I don't know. Well, Kiana also expanding Kiana Harris. She's bringing everyone on board. True, so maybe Kiana is the captain. Maybe they're the same person, just different time. Who knows? You never know. You never know. Let's hope I get this. If I don't get this, I'm instantly restarting. Okay, now we'll get it. The redemption of No Man's Sky proved that even big companies, in this case Sony, pulled out from their developer. The small developer can stand on its own, and the big comp all care about money. That's absolutely true, dude. That's absolutely true. No, like, I'm gonna be in full agreement saying that, like, big AAA companies, 99% of the time, only care about the money. That is beyond truth. That is beyond truth. And Valheim is, like, a tribute to that, essentially, saying, I kind of want to go for Sakura here. 5, then 6, 7, or I'll do it on the 5, 6, 7. And yeah, Valheim is a big one, and any kind of, like, roguelike that gets popular, like Risk of Rain 2, that's another one. It's like these indie games are creating masterful pieces of gaming. And then AAA titles like Assassin's Creed, like creating just these dog water copy-paste video games that have no substance. And I don't mean quality of game, I just mean quality in also regards to how much money they're asking for you to put into the game. I can't hear this. I saw spoilers and prepare for new Hersha soon. That's all I'll say. Alright, cool. Nice. Spoilers. No spoilers, rather. I'm starting to save. Good luck, dudes. Saving up. Nice. Is Mihoyo considered a big company now? I'd say Mihoyo is considered a big company now just because of Genshin Impact. It makes way too much money to not be considered a big company. And even before Genshin, I wouldn't have called it an indie game company. I would have called it like a middle of the range, middle tier company, or like in terms of like it would be AA.
I have to go for the shop because I fucked up. Yeah, that's how I would do it. Is before Genshin, it was middle A or double A, and then with Genshin, now it's triple A. It makes too much money. Maybe we should go for Bodhi. By the way, your next Captain Verse event is Bronny. Event rerun in 5.8. It has an Arc City open world. Okay, I'm looking forward to that then. I'll look forward to that. I think Honkai has made 5 mil. You mean Hoyo, right? Has made 5 million from Honkai. That's not considered a AAA in any way. AAA is they're making like probably about 100 million. Maybe more. Or maybe not. Maybe 100 million is like the higher echelons, but like I'm pretty sure you can find the annual earnings of companies online somewhere. It's like public information. Like some companies, like AAA companies, make a lot more than 5 million, and Genshin I know has made more money than Honkai. I hope they never lose their passion they have when they were small and made Honkai. Well, that's the thing. That's like, like you can tell they kind of haven't, because Honkai is still getting very, very high quality updates in my opinion. I've just, even though I've only been here for one patch, but I can like after watching that the core problems with Honkai video, I'm like, yeah, if these problems have been changed, then nice. Like these are core problems and they changed them. Good on them. We're not even going to get the double here. We might as well restart. It makes me laugh that like after all this time, EA is still milking FIFA. Yeah, honestly, it's ridiculous that is the case. It's ridiculous that EA is still trying to make FIFA games. That is the most ridiculous thing. I thought that like, Assassin's Creed was milk, dude. I thought Assassin's Creed was a genre that was milked. I was like, yeah, how are you going to innovate stealthing around and assassinating? And then people are still buying FIFA games. Bro, what are you on? Why are you... And also, the games are like 60 to 80 bucks, maybe even pushing 100 bucks. It's like, what are you doing? What's wrong with you? It's just like, oh my god, you're just not right now. If you're buying FIFA games still, stop. EA will no longer own FIFA licenses. They greed backfire and FIFA becomes greed as them. But here's the thing, just the production of FIFA games has to stop. Oh god, Vesson, listen, 5.8 chat full spoilers, that's sometimes wrong, but I need to correct it. If you want, go ahead and correct them. Just don't spoil the chat, because I'm sure there might be some people in here that don't want spoilers. And I'd also